I saw recently you said America is on track to become a third world country, and I completely agree with you. It's terrifying. And so one of my favorite messages that you have is talking about how we need to get back to being able to raise a family on one income. Families
Hmm.
are the heart of America. America cannot exist as it's intended to without strong families. So, how do you think we can get back to, what can you do to help us get back to being able to support families on one income in America?
Yeah, a couple things concretely, but just first abstractly,
Mhm.
take a moment to be astonished that in 2022, articulating that is somehow really controversial. Like, you would think that all politicians, whether you're right or left, would say, like, yeah, they'd acknowledge. Obviously, it's a good goal to be able to raise a family on one single income.
Mhm.
And, let's debate. Do my policies make that happen? Or, do your left wing policies make that happen? But they don't do that. The left hates it because they think it's sexist somehow, because they want everybody to be so equal that everybody's just got to go and work two jobs in the market, and they don't like the family. And
Mhm.
so I think they want people to substitute lots of economic activity for the traditional you know um, activity of just having a family and spending time with them and raising your children and all that. But the right doesn't really talk about it either. And that's why it's bizarre that there was this opportunity for me to say what everybody really wants. Like, people just want to have families. They want to be, yeah, have a rewarding career if they want to, or if they need to. They want to be able to worship in peace and figure out the meaning of it all, without the government just breathing down their necks and taking away their liberties. That seems obvious to me, but most politicians don't talk that way. So I'll make that meta point. But concretely, I think there's a lot of things we can do. You used to be able to raise a family on one single middle class income in this country. And after decades of globalization and inflation, you can't really do it anymore. And so, one obvious point is, globalization, just unlimited capital flows, unlimited immigration. This stuff really does have a depressing effect on so many Americans' wages. So, just on the immigration front, Bernie Sanders used to be able to admit that illegal immigration depressed wages for working class Americans, which is just demonstrably true. That's a true economic fact. And Bernie Sanders doesn't say that anymore, right? Because the left has gone so thoroughly woke that now they're just open borders. They don't even pretend to care about the American working class anymore. They want to substitute, uh, bring in all these millions of people to depress working class wages. Well, the correct amount of illegal immigration, of course, is zero,
Mhm.
right? We should have none of it.
Great.
And one of the best assets that a working class person in America has is monopolistic access to America's labor market, right? You want to be competing against the people in your town, maybe the people in your region, but not 7 billion people worldwide. And so illegal immigration should be zero. Legal immigration, I think we need some legal immigration, right? But I want immigrants to come here who are so unique and exceptionally skilled that they're going to start businesses and put Americans to work, or they're going to do some job that's not going to displace an American worker, right? And so if we retool our legal immigration system to truly get the best and the brightest, but not to just en masse replace middle class American jobs, all of a sudden I think there's upward pressure, and people start making more money. So that's the immigration component. And then what about just making stuff here at home, right? For decades, we've been outsourcing. And then turns out the COVID supply chain crisis highlighted uh, this is a really bad idea. It made economic sense in some narrow sense to send all the semiconductor manufacturing over to Southeast Asia, from Silicon Valley. That's why it's called Silicon Valley, right? We invented computer chips there in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, but we took all that productive industrial capacity, we shipped it off to Southeast Asia to save a buck. Turns out that was a giant mistake, right? It's economically important to be able to make things in your own country. I'm not saying trade is all bad. You got to have some trade, but you got to be able to produce at least the basics, right? Food, energy, computer chips, antibiotics, medicines. We got to be able to produce that stuff here at home. And so, yeah, I want some sort of reindustrialization, some industrial policy that says, hi, this is a matter of economic security. This is a matter of national security. We need to be able to make this stuff here at home. Well, if you do that, all of a sudden there's a lot more jobs for people, right? We want to be training people to do high skill work here in America and not just outsource it all to Vietnam or China or even Taiwan.